Okay, find L10 and U10 for the following definite integral. The definite integral from 0 to 5 of 4x plus 2 dx. Okay, well, L10 and U10 are the lower sum and the upper sum on 10 equal intervals, so the regular upper and lower sums, which means I have to cut this interval from 0 to 5 into 10 pieces, and then find the maximum and minimum on every one of them and multiply by the width and add them up. Okay, so I might just draw a quick sketch of the function first. 4x plus 2 is linear, so that should be a straight line. So when x is 0, I get 2. And then when x is 5, I might just stretch that out a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 2 is 22. Okay, it's just a sketch, doesn't have to be accurate. So that's the area I'm looking for. It's a trapezium, so I can actually figure out the exact area, but I've been specifically asked to find L10 and U10. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to need to divide that interval into 10 equal pieces. The interval from 0 to 5 into 10 subintervals. The total width is end minus beginning, so 5. I didn't really need to calculate that, but I like to do all the steps. And then the width of each interval, which is called delta x, is the total width divided by the number of pieces, which is 10, so that's a half. Okay, so it looks like we divide this into halves. Okay, so then I need to figure out either a formula or a list of what all of the endpoints are. And there's a lot of them, so I might do a formula. So the right hand of subinterval number I starts at 0, and then I add on I lots of delta x. That gets me to the end of subinterval number I, and that would be I times a half, which is I on 2. Okay, and the left-hand end of subinterval number I would be 0 plus 1 less delta x, so that'll come out to I minus 1 over 2. Okay, cool. Awesome. Now, every one of those intervals, this function is increasing. So the minimum is going to be at the left-hand end and the maximum is going to be at the right-hand end. So on subinterval number I, the min is at the left-hand end. And the maximum is at the right-hand end. So that means the minimum will be what I get when I sub in the left-hand end to this, and the maximum will be this, what I get when I sub into the right-hand end of that. So little mi is the minimum, and it should be 4 times I minus 1 on 2 plus 2, which is 2i minus 1 plus 2, which I guess is 2i minus 2 plus 2, which is just 2i. Okay, that's interesting. And then the maximum is 4i on 2 plus 2, which is 2i plus 2. Okay, so L10 is going to be the sum from I equals 1 to 10, they're the intervals, of little mi times delta x, which would be the sum from I equals 1 to 10 of 2i times 1/2, because that's the delta x, which is the sum from I equals 1 to 10 of just I. Okay, so that'd be 1 plus 2 plus all the way up to plus 10. And I happen to know the answer to that. That's 45. Okay, U10 is the sum from I equals 1 to 10 of capital MI times delta X, which would be the sum from I equals 1 to 10 of 2I plus 2 times a half, which is the sum from I equals 1 to 10 of I plus 1. Okay, so this time when I put I equals 1 in, it starts at 2, and then at the very end, 10 plus 1 would be 11. Okay, so when I added up 1 to 10, that's 45. If I add on an 11 at the end, that'll get me up to 56, and then I'll take 1, so that's 55. Wait, just a second. 1 to 9 is 45. Just a second. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, 55. That's 55. Sorry about that. This one, I'd add on an 11, that'd get me to 66, and then I'd take off 1, so that'd be 65. Okay, so I found L10 is 55 and U10 is 65, so I've figured out the area to within 10 of the right answer, whatever that is.